Oh.
It's okay. I started deer hunting when I was about 8 years old, and I've been an avid deer hunter since then. And I started bow hunting when I think it was about 12 years old. And actually was very successful my first year, surprisingly. I got a small buck one of the very first times I went out with a bow. Just got lucky. It wasn't skill, a lot of luck. And just haven't looked back since. It's one of my favorite things to do in the woods.
We're on an early season bow hunt here in Copiah County. First week of bow season. Wonderful weather this week. Probably some of the best weather we've had in several years for bow hunting to open the week. Go in here and get a real good crossing that we found on a ditch, and got some red oak acorns dropping, and the deer should be in there, so hopefully they'll cooperate and we'll get lucky today.
First afternoon, we were going to basically try to go where we knew where the deer were going the last couple of weeks. So we found a ditch that they were crossing. It looked like to be on a regular basis. And there's just a really nice trail going across this ditch. And that's one thing growing up as a bow hunter, I'd really like to set up on ditches because you know that's where the deer have been crossing. The deer did just what we expected them to do. They came in, I think about 6:30 or so, coming right towards us. We had a buck, he's probably a 3 or 4 year old buck that came in and actually got drawn back on him, but just could not get a shot because of dense foliage. So he got a little spooked and he ran off the other way back the way he come. And that was the end of the hunt. We got a draw back, but just no shot. We went back the next morning, set up on sawtooth acorns that had been dropping pretty heavily the last 2 or 3 weeks prior to the season. And we're hoping we could get one last weekend out of it during the opening bow season. We felt really good about the setup. The weather was fantastic, but it just didn't work out. I don't think we saw a deer at all that morning. The second afternoon, we decided to set up on a water oak flat. There was actually a little bit of browse right there and also acorns on the ground. So some droppings there, so it was definitely deer sign there. I guess about 5:30, we actually saw the first deer for the afternoon. There's a group of does and fawns that were feeding around on the water oaks around us. We watched them for a little bit, and all of a sudden, my cameraman tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, there's a buck over here to our left." Of course, the foliage was still pretty thick, being early in the season. I couldn't see the deer. So the cameraman was having to watch the deer and tell me what was going on. And I was sitting here watching the does, see what they're doing. So I think this played out for a good 30, 45 minutes. And the does started actually feeding towards us, feeding right towards the tree that we're in. We're going to be within a rock throw of where we were, which was bad because we were looking for the buck, not the does. You know, 9 times out of 10, that doe is going to bust you. She's going to alert everything in the woods that something's wrong. And that was exactly what the does did. They were feeding right to us with a buck still over to her side that I still hadn't seen yet. Cameraman informed me, hey, the deer's still there. But the does are feeding right up under us. I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. And sure enough, they spooked. I don't think they ever saw us, but they figured out something was not right. They spooked and ran off completely off the site, but fortunately the buck did not. He was still feeding out there. So, you know, a few minutes later he started feeding right to us. And there's actually a down tree right there,
that if he was going to come on our side of the tree, it was going to be fantastic. But if he got on the other side of the tree, we were not going to have a shot. Luckily, he fed on the acorns right to where he was supposed to be, and it's about a 20-yard shot. You know, pulled back, had a good draw, had a good anchor, let go. Just a fantastic feeling. You know, saw the arrow go in him, just thought it was a fantastic shot. Looked at my cameraman, gave a high five, and you know, waited a few minutes. Said, "Let's go get the deer." Drilled him, baby.
There's an arrow.
Well, folks, we didn't hear him fall down. We looked at the videotape and we decided it'd be best to come back in the morning and look for him and find him then. So we'll try to find him tomorrow. Well, folks, we're back where we shot the deer yesterday. We let him lay for about 12 hours, and it's been unseasonably cool for opening bow season, so that should prevent him from spoiling. So hopefully we can find him. Let's go. Got him. There he is, right there. Well, we didn't have to track him far. He ran about 80 yards, maybe. We made a good call letting him lay last night. We just didn't have a lot of good blood, but the shot was actually better than I thought it was now after we looked at the entrance. But the second day of the hunt, and deer been kind of slow moving. Especially in the morning, it's been really slow. And we set up on some red oaks this afternoon and saw some does come in early, and he came in and we watched him for about 30 minutes. And he would never come close enough. And after about 30 minutes, he decided to come on close and had about a 20-yard shot. Shot him, thought it was a real good hit, but inspected the arrow and then started questioning a little bit. So we let him lay overnight. And we came back this morning, it's about 8:30 now. Came back this morning, didn't have any trouble finding him, walked right up on him. Like I said, about 80 yards from where we shot him. So perfect bow kill for an early season bow hunt.
For over 70 years, Mississippi Outdoors magazine has served the readers of the Magnolia State. In it contains several interesting features such as wildlife photography, lunar tables, and even a kids page. Subscriptions to the magazine are very inexpensive, and when you subscribe, you will receive 6 bi-monthly issues containing articles on hunting and fishing in the state, public lakes, state parks, and even our wildlife management areas. For more information, call our toll-free number at 1-888-874-5785.
That's a fish. Hey folks, Mississippi Outdoors is at it again. We're going hand grabbing for some big old ugly gnarly catfish. Gonna be a little different today. Got a lot of women gonna be doing it. For all you guys that's been a little nervous about hand grabbing, watch this. How many you gonna grab?
More than you.
That's gonna be easy, but it's on. I'm gonna watch the master.
I ain't no master, but no man.
I bet you can stand up. I got you if you can. Perfect.
I'm gonna pull my foot out when you go down there.
You gonna pop me in the head?
I'll let him go.
Yeah. No, we don't win.
I ain't gonna win. Shut up. Get out of her way, 'cause she kicks.
Took that do-rag off of him. You lost your handkerchief?
It's in the water. Probably down there where you were.
Caught that fish yet?
Right up.
Y'all ain't gonna start it.
I went down one time. Are you sure there's a fish in there?
Yeah.
He's got a stick. Are you sure?
I'll let you let him out.
You can rip him up with a stick.
Top hole deal.
I went down right.
Well, we don't get nothing to eat today.
Something happened. Yeah, I think.
I missed him. He hit me, but I missed him.
You'd like to pick your glove off, didn't
Yeah.
you? He's still in there, isn't he?
Yeah. You got one of the other. Yeah.
You get back to the glove off.
He did take it off.
Hey, when you go down there, put your hand in it. Just go right down and put your hand right in there between Greg's feet.
No game
He's at the back. I can't get him to come up.
My partner's done been down 5 times. No fish. We all hungry. Mississippi Outdoors is going in. We're going for the meat. Woo!
What happened? What happened there?
I'm finna get him. If you breathe real fast, you blow it out, suck it back in without getting any water.
You're not here to stand on me.
What it is?
What there?
I bit my thumb. Me and Brett caught it. I caught it going in my face.
When I was trying to pull his legs down, I didn't know it was a crap. Go on.
One thread.
Well, now tell the truth. I'd gone down there a while ago. He was tied around the box.
I had to cut him loose.
Did he bite you, Sandy?
Yes.
That's one
You
catch.
letting a little bitty one
He
nick
said he's way in the back and he's hard to get, but he was right there
I
waiting.
should have caught him right there.
He was right there waiting. He's got a lot of oxygen space.
Don't drown there for me.
Folks, way too much smack being talked. It's done turned into guys versus girls now. Oh, it's on.
Get you a deep breath and go in there. Stick your hand in there between his feet and grab that fish. He ain't gonna be big. Look at everything that they've caught. He ain't gonna swim off with you.
There. Too deep.
There's a one in there.
Yeah, that's tail.
You trying to run out?
Yeah. I need it.
Hit him with that stick.
Here we go. Here comes fish.
This may be one of the biggest ones now.
Was there another one in there?
Yeah.
He was further back. Jeff missed him. He's in there.
Oh, man.
He ran to the back, but boy, that son of a gun nailed down. Yeah, he bit. Are you sure there's a fish in there? He was in there. At least I had my hands on him, you joker.
St. Bryant got it. Catfish. Little old noodle. That little old 12-pound I got away from you. He ain't in the boat yet. Throw him right here.
I think he just got away. Go watch out.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I knew when he was down there, if I go ahead and catch him, he wasn't going to be caught.
All right, he's stopping him. Oh, where he coming? He's coming out with it. Get him, man. He's coming out.
Hold the fish! Hold it!
Big fish. Get back in the barrel. Get back in the barrel.
He's got him arm twisted bad.
Get in the barrel.
You got his foot, Max Davis, man.
Somebody's got to grip. Nobody's gonna break that arm.
I got him, Reed.
All right. You got him good, Steve?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
Just see my
Can you
see
grab
this rod under my arm? Come on, you grab this rod.
All right, hold up. Let me get this out of your way. All right, can you grab him too, David?
I got a good grip on him.
Woo! There you go, Randy. I'm gonna tell you something, he running. He almost broke that arm.
Good job.
Now we're fishing. Now, that's a fish. Come on. Come on. Right.
Yeah, that was good.
That's the way we do it.
Did you know that the money spent on your hunting and fishing license is an investment?
The Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks uses money from license sales to enhance hunting and fishing.
Like providing public hunting opportunities for wildlife management areas.
Advise private landowners on deer and habitat management.
Providing public fishing opportunities on state lakes.
And operating fish hatcheries for stocking public lakes and streams.
So make an investment in the great outdoors.
Buy your Mississippi hunting and fishing license today.
When I grew up, there was still a lot of wild quail, and I spent every day after school during quail season bird hunting. I just wish that that was still available in the wild in this state.
My memories of quail hunting were wonderful. My father had a kennel. We had 7 or 8 bird dogs. When I was 5, he would have somebody carry me so I could go quail hunting with him. And Longleaf brings those memories back. This is quite a place.
I'm glad to see that and thankful that I can be a part of a place like Longleaf, that we can, you know, continue the sport that so many enjoy throughout the year.
The whole purpose of the foundation is to be a support arm of the Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. This is a great event to generate money. The governor is really assisting the foundation by being here. His presence is just greatly appreciated. His wife just fits in perfectly.
She is very excited about going out of watching the trap range. She's done a tremendous job on the trap range. Governor Bryant, he better watch out or he'll get beat today.
Oh, a pretty dog.
I told Lauren last night, it's just sort of wonderland for a hunter. You know, it's a beautiful spot. Quail hunting is a great time for camaraderie and meeting people and just having a good time.
You're gonna do just fine.
If I come back shot now, she's already moved.
I did it on purpose.
It's just as fine a quail place as you'll find. Everything, the accommodations, the quality of the service here, it's a wonderful spot.
Why don't you get her around in front and get her loaded up?
Okay.
Oh, so you can put 2 in at one time?
Yeah, it'll hold 2, and as soon as you shoot, it reloads. All you have to do is pull the trigger again and shoot the second time.
Okay.
And see, watching the bird dog. Now, he's hunting right now. He's looking for birds. And when he finds them, he'll stop and point right where they are. Look at there. It's on point. See there? Okay. Let's walk over this way. Where he's pointing, he's saying there and there. Get your safety on.
I waited on you long enough, brother.
I waited on you long enough. He did a good job. He waited till he got out there.
We didn't know he had pheasants.
Aww.
That's a big bird, isn't it?
Right.
shot. That's a good shot.
Oh, I don't know when to shoot.
When to shoot. You got him! You got him! You got him!
Wow!
Great shot.
Goodness gracious!
Very good.
My bird, my bird. Nice. Nice. Fish.
Who shot him? Okay, which one of you shot him? Seems like they're everywhere.
They are, aren't they?
They're
This way, that way. Now, if he goes through here, it's okay to shoot. If he goes that way.
wait.
Say no.
Oh,
That's okay. That's okay. Sometimes they beat us up.
I wasn't ready for him. Okay, wait a minute.
If he gets out, get ready. There it goes.
You got him the second.
Oh. Look at you.
That's your first quail.
Well, Deborah, you have got a pheasant and a quail.
And a quail. You get ready to take it off. There you go. Hey, nice shot.
Did you get both of them?
I'd waiting on you, baby. Man,
doubt
this
about
is a
that.
good team sport, too. I don't mind both of us shooting it.
Yeah,
More.
sure. That's what I'm trying to get used to is, okay, now, when is it going to fly out?
You just put the bead on it, just like you do the clay target. Just take a breath, put that bead on him.
I tell you, you're
That
not
thing
missing
right
much
there.
with that shotgun. I am so pleased to see
Man,
that.
I love that.
Just like that, get your gun ready to mount. If he goes from here over, you shoot from here over.
Okay.
But not through. If he goes that way, don't down and shoot him. Good. You got him. Did you see that? You see that bird? Joe, did you see her hit that bird? You see her? That was a good shot.
Oh,
Good shooting, Joe. Yes, sir. I should have got both of those. Hard to make your mind up sometimes which one you want.
Good shot.
I'm having to use two shots. Tried to find a warning shot, he couldn't lay down.
Quail populations nationally have declined. A lot of research, a lot of money's being poured into it. Of course, we'd love to see it restored. That's what I'd like to see. But we've got a long way to go.
The state is doing a wonderful job trying to bring back the wild quail population. We're so thankful of that, and we're glad that we're able to play a part of it in helping the foundation out.
The governor and his wife are just wonderful people and good advocates for the outdoors. From the wildlife department, we couldn't ask for more.
I just love what it brings to my life personally, hunting with my sons, hunting with my friends, and it's the fellowship. You can't beat it in a situation like this.
This is a wonderful place. This is as close to the real thing as I can remember. And of course the facilities are top rate, but getting out there watching the dogs work, the birds fly good, it's just really, really like the good old days. It really is.